What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
I shucked 6 oysters in my friend's kitchen. It's 7 a.m. Oysters. For
Oysters
breakfast.
is what you had for breakfast.
Yeah.
You're an interesting individual. You're a singer, writer, lawyer, and hypnotherapist. What made you pursue all of those ventures?
So many things. I've always just been a curious person. Like, I want to experience everything I possibly can. I was actually writing about that a couple days ago or yesterday. Like, this deep, insatiable need to taste everything. Like, I wanted all of it. And that started really young. Music's always been there. That's what I would say when somebody asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd run around saying I'm a singer. So that was always ingrained. And then I started writing music probably around 19 or 20. I got my degree in music business. I lived in Nashville. While in Nashville, I started practicing yoga. That was during COVID. And like right after graduation from college, I got the opportunity to do my yoga teacher training. The law came out of nowhere. That was just I'm ready to leave Nashville. Again, curious. I truly believe that life is long enough to open every single possible door that you want to, and too short not to. You gotta just do it. If you're curious about something, crack the door open, see what's in there. If you don't like it, shut the door and go to the next one. And that's just kind of been my philosophy of my 20s. It's really been a decade of this like curious and maybe a bit reckless decision making. And that's the only reason I went to law school, was the opportunity presented itself. I say I went accidentally. It just kind of fell in. And yeah, and all of these things weren't necessarily, it wasn't difficult to find them. They just showed up and I said yes. That's kind of how all of it happened. Hypnotherapy, that has been my preferred form of therapy for years.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And that was given to me by my mentor when I did my yoga teacher training. She gave me my hypnotherapist. He and I've worked together for years. It changed my life. And then when I was living in Bali, I was walking down the street and saw a flyer for it and was like a little skeptical because there's a guru for everything there. Yeah, like you don't know what you're going to step into and what's legit and what isn't. But after one meeting with this woman, I was like, oh my God, like you are the real deal. And again, said, when else would I do this? And now I got a story where I became a hypnotherapist in Bali. And to be able to help other people, it's not something I do necessarily professionally, but it is something that I can give to the people that I love. It's something that if anybody were to ask me for it, I'd love to do that with them because it's just such a beautiful way of rewiring your subconscious thinking. It's something I do every 2 weeks. Does that answer your question?
It does answer my question.
Yeah.
When I was writing that question, I knew I was missing a label, and it was yoga instructor.
Yeah, she's in there. I have
Yeah.
a weird resume for sure.
Resume is a perfect word.
Yeah, like a weird one.
How did you get comfortable with pivoting?
Oh my God. I don't think I am.
You just do before you think.
Yeah. Law school was the biggest pivot. Everything else felt like, well, you know what? I take that back. I wouldn't even count it as a pivot. It's just adding to this like bigger holistic career that I want to build. Everything kind of fuels the other. As strange as it is, hypnotherapy, yoga fuel poetry, fuel songwriting. Songwriting fuels law and vice versa. So it never felt like a pivot. Leaving Nashville did. But again, more of an addition than a pivot. I think we can just like stack these random skills and use them to help the world in some way. So I can't necessarily say I'm comfortable with pivoting. Like if I were to leave all of that, it would feel like a pivot. But everything else
That
has
makes
felt
sense.
like an addition rather than a complete shift.
From the outside looking in, each venture came in at a different period of your life.
Mhm.
How do they all come together now?
I'm figuring that out. That's exactly where I am today, is putting these pieces together. I passed the bar. I get sworn in tomorrow. I've been writing a lot of music. That's a great question. I don't necessarily know how they all fit together yet. I think
Mhm.
that's what my life is going to show me. Like, I don't know if there will ever be a point where all of them are happening all at once, or if some turn into kind of like hypnotherapy, it's more of like a deep passion than a career or like a way to make money. So I think all of these things eventually are going to find their homes in my life. I don't necessarily know what that's going to look like, but I'm like, that's kind of the gift. Like I get to just explore that and shift as I need to and work on whatever feels right at the time.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't necessarily have an answer for that now. I don't know if I will for
A while.
a while.
Yeah. And that in itself is a good answer. I think there are a lot of people who don't know what they're doing. Do we ever really know what we're doing?
No,
No.
I have never once been like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, this is it.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I haven't experienced that, and I'm 29 years old. It's always been the curiosity that's driving, and I also haven't necessarily sought out a life where I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't necessarily want one of those. I like the gray. I like a bunch of different things. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever feel like I know
You know what you're doing,
what I'm doing.
or you're on the right path.
I know when I'm on the right path
Mm.
because everything works. You do not fight. There is no fighting. It's like LA, for example. Moving from Nashville to LA was one of the best decisions of my life, apart from getting sober at 19. Those two are single-handed, like, they're just the best decisions I could have ever made. Moving to LA, I burned my life in Nashville pretty much to the ground. It felt so hard the whole time I was there to be comfortable, be happy. And the moment I landed in LA and started school, the biggest thing that told me I was in the right place was the people that showed up. Immediately, I started making friends that I will have until for the rest of my life. Los Angeles felt so easy, which is crazy because the city isn't. Once things just start falling
Into place.
and like you don't even feel like you're working that hard for it. A telltale sign is the community. Same when I was in Bali. I noticed that it was becoming difficult to like continue forming community knowing that I was leaving. And so I just ripped the Band-Aid off and went to Thailand and immediately flooded with the most amazing people. So for me, who shows up is a really big indicator of
Whether or not
I'm on the right path.
I think I needed to hear that.
It's like everything.
I think I needed to hear that. I was recently faced with a pretty big decision in terms of my career.
Mhm.
I won't get into the details, but the important thing is that I had a decision brought to me.
Mhm.
And I think I needed to hear that because when this was a pivot, in my opinion. I still have the skills from my marketing career.
Yes.
But when I pivoted into personal training, everything flowed. It was easy.
So easy.
It was so easy. I mean, for the first month or so, I was struggling a little bit with getting comfortable, thinking that I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
That I was good at my job. Once I figured out, oh, no, I'm good at my job, everything just started falling into place.
You are great at your job. I was sore for 5 days. Not to interrupt you, but you are.
But I really love what I do. And the people who found me in this space are unbelievable. I'm so grateful for them. I've met amazing people at this job, and I've never felt that way about a previous position I've held. I always felt like the black sheep at the company. And here I don't feel that way at all. I feel like I found a community that I can truly rely on.
Yeah.
So I think I needed to hear that. Yeah.
And yeah, that's always been the indicator of not just maybe it is the right path.
It is the right path. I don't know of a better way to phrase that.
Yeah. My own, how I view myself, like who I'm around is a direct reflection of my level of confidence. Yeah. Who is showing up, because we only have space for so much. And I can look back on my life and see these chapters where I was holding on to people that I had found maybe in a different or darker time. And the moment that that's let go, the greatest people, like the room was made for great people to show up, and people that I can, God, there's nothing better than friends that feel like family, the people you can just completely fall into.
This phrase applies to every facet of your life. In order to pick something up, you have to put something down.
Yes.
Because we as humans only have so much capacity. In order to especially give our all to something or someone, you have to put something else down.
Yeah.
Assume you're already doing enough. I stole this from Chris Williamson. But
yeah.
Assume you're already doing enough. We can't keep adding.
No.
And that's a question that came up, or more of a statement that came up for me when you were talking about the addition of each thing.
Yeah.
You really do have to find a place for each thing, because isn't it impossible to do all of it at once?
100%. I am feeling that now. Yes, it is. And things deserve your undivided attention. I mean, it depends on what you really, really want. But do I have time in 24 hours to practice law, get in a studio and make music or perform, write poetry, teach a yoga class, and do a hypnotherapy session? Maybe like technically there are enough hours, but there is no brain space. That's just like scatterbrained. You're going to go nowhere really fast.
Yeah. Well, there's no way you can put your all into each of those sessions.
No. And you're thinking about the next one. And that was God, I loved that part of law school. The 2 years, I knew that that's all I was going to be working on. That and getting an EP done. Those were my two main goals. Both of them were completed because those are two pretty solid, planned goals. And when it gets a little scattered, now that I have time on my hands, that's the question of, okay, where is my time going to be allocated? It's funny, that's something that I have not practiced career-wise, but it is something I practice regularly with people.
I was going to bring that up, because with people, you also have to put something down in order to pick something up.
100%.
Not to refer to people as something.
But it's
you get what
true.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's true. You can't possibly have enough capacity to care about. I believe the statistic is one person cannot possibly care about more than 150 people, which is also insane. When you think about your really close people, I'm a huge lover. Putting so much love into too many friends is exhausting.
Depends on if they're the right ones.
That's true too.
I feel like, oh God, there's so much gratitude for the people in my life. I've lived a bunch of places. I've lived all over the world. In the last decade, I've lived in 7 cities. So I have a lot of homes with like groups of people in each one. And I care about all of them, but there's also like a mutual, like we don't live in the same place. So like, I think my only way around that is when I am there, I am giving all of me to those people. And then of course I have my core group of people that I am on the phone with all the time, and the people, you have on FaceTime while you're doing your dishes, but maintaining relationships globally, I think there needs to be an understanding that you're not going to have all of the attention or
the capacity,
the energy, I was talking to a friend about this a couple of days ago, actually. The difference between really giving energy and then like constantly considering people. And I feel like on a bigger grand scale, the consideration of others is easy to do, but that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to be able to give a lot or go out of my way on a larger scale all of the time.
Mm.
So having people who understand that, who are like that as well, who have people kind of everywhere or like just busy. Like we're busy.
Yeah, true.
We're people in our like late 20s, early 30s. We're building lives. So friendship to me is the gift of being like supported as you go on your individual journey. And I think that with the right people, that can be the easiest thing in the world. And with the wrong people, it feels so heavy.
That's what I faced. That's more what I was trying to get at when I said it was exhausting. Because loving people isn't exhausting.
Not when you're poured into.
No. But
not when it feels reciprocal.
Even just trying to keep in contact with a lot of people at once can be tiring too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we are busy.
Yeah.
And the busier I get, the more I appreciate friends who understand that.
Yeah, it's a requirement of friendship.
You have a deep-rooted sense of independence, so much to the point where you've traveled the world by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you so comfortable with solitude?
Oh my God, it's the best thing in the world. I always say the gift that I was born with, the ability to write. Like, I'm never bored, ever. There's never a moment. If I have a lull in my day, something comes into my brain and I'm able to pick up a pen. So I think that some of it's just an inherent gift that no matter how alone I am, I have this thing that I love and I have to be alone to do it. So solitude's always been important, but I think it's always been a part of me. I lived a bunch of different places, but it wasn't until I moved to LA that my comfort with solitude became a necessity. I had noticed that the relationships that I was developing and I had a deep lack of confidence my last year in Nashville. And I spent a lot of time alone, but I was also kind of like we talked about around people that just I wasn't happy at all. And so the only thing I could do, I mean, it got so bleak to the point where I packed everything and moved to LA. But when I landed here, I knew that I was going into a year of solitude. Once I made that decision, as I said earlier, the right people started to show up, but I really fell in love with it over that year. And I would start I wasn't dating actively, just really wanted to get good with working hard, being alone, keeping my head down, doing what I needed to do. And that's when I started romanticizing the living hell out of my life. So whether that be through going to the farmer's market on a Sunday and picking out like the most beautiful food and cooking myself a crazy like 3 to 5 course dinner or the 24-hour adventure where I just get in my car and I go somewhere for 24 hours. And I just started romanticizing loneliness. And this was a seed that got planted a long time ago. I remember saying to an ex of mine, it's not my fault I make loneliness look like freedom. Because it is. If you can get to a place where you are comfortable alone, it is the most free. You've freed yourself because then everything can leave and you're okay. And the moment that switch flips to where, okay, take it all, fine. I remember saying to God on my drive to LA, I'm like, take it, take everything. And once I'm good alone, God, there's just nothing better than that. So it was always just this like undercurrent of my existence because of the writing. And I like being alone. I've always been a reader. So like my family would find me in my room. I used to get in trouble I'd run to class early to like sit in the back corner and read for a second. And I'd get in trouble for not being at dinner on time because I'm lost in a book in my bedroom. I've always been okay with it. And then eventually it became a necessity that I needed to work on again. And then it became the most beautiful fuel for a life that I really wanted and people that I really wanted in it because I'm good alone. I don't know if that answers
your
question.
Yeah, it does.
But
It does.
It's such a good thing. Being comfortable with being alone is the biggest gift I've ever given myself. Apart from, I mean, that's a part of why I say coming to LA is one of my best decisions.
Mm-hmm. I've always struggled with that. And you know this about me.
I do.
I have always struggled with feeling okay with being alone. I'm a very social person. I'm a very extroverted person. So that is something I have always struggled with. I will say in the past year and a half, I've become more comfortable with being by myself. Mm-hmm. The problem with me being alone and sitting still, not just being alone, but being able to slow down and sit still, that's where I struggle most.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can admit my flaws.
Yeah.
But yeah, I struggle with sitting still because
it's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not an easy thing to do.
Like at all. One of the hardest things I've ever done was the monastery in Thailand. Silence, no speaking, no eating, just sitting with the thoughts. But the coolest part is when you sit with them long enough, they turn into like a movie and you stop attaching to all of them. So like you are separate from your thoughts. They're not you.
I felt that the other day because I had a very close friend of mine take me to a park. This man has stolen my heart. But this man has stolen my heart. Coming from a big old lesbian.
Listen.
He took me to a park and he had me sit up against a tree with my feet in the grass, walked me through a mobility session.
Cool.
Along with breath work and a guided meditation. And at this point in my life, I need that shit to be guided because I have the monkey brain. He was asking me, what is loneliness to you? What comes up when that word comes up?
That's such a good question.
And it's such a good question. And I thought about it, and my first answer, I bring this up in every podcast, but my first answer was loneliness is grief. It's missing my mom.
Yeah.
When I feel loneliness, a lot of it is due to lack of romantic partner and lack of mother. That is what was brought up for me within that guided meditation. Love with no place to go is the through line of loneliness for me. Love with no place to go. For a romantic partner, I have so much love to give, no romantic partner.
Yeah.
For my mom, so much love to give, nowhere for that to go. Yeah. Then he flipped it on me and he said, okay, what are you grateful for? And in the same breath, in the same thought process, it was people.
Right.
So both of them are lack of people and then people in my life who I do have.
Yeah.
And it was such an interesting dichotomy. I also thought, this is kind of jumping off topic a little bit, but I also thought it was interesting that it was the people that came up when he asked for gratitude immediately. And it wasn't job, it wasn't financial stability, it was people, my support system. Because I always thought when my mom died, I lost my support system. And that's just not true at all. It's different, but it's not true that it's gone. Yeah. So I think a part of me released that.
That makes me so happy for you. Oh my God.
But yeah, I think a part of me released that, at least a little bit within that session. Anyway, we were talking about loneliness. I've always struggled with being alone. And I think the older I get, especially within this last year and a half, I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more. And I think it is such a skill that will benefit you in the long run.
The most important, because then you're coming from a place of want rather than need. I never want to need a partner again. I've done that. I've gripped people so hard. Now the question, especially with partnership, friendship, anybody coming into my life, I have a couple questions that I ask. One of them, do you make me feel closer to or further away from God? Very simple. Number two,
great question.
Like, do you add to my life? I know I'm good alone. Do I want you? It takes however many hours to build a friendship. Do I want to put, 80 hours? I've heard the Hermosis talk about it. Like, it's 80 hours to create a friendship. Like, who do I want to spend 80 hours with? But it's a want, not who do I need to spend 80 hours with. It's I'm good here, so do I want you? And operating from a place of want rather than need is so powerful.
Well, that's where the superpower is in being comfortable alone, because 100%. It is very hard to form a trauma bond when you are truly good on your own.
Yeah. I also think that that's not to segue, but to segue, that's why we're friends. There was never a need, just a very simple want. That want now has been able to translate itself into like one of the greatest friendships that I have. But it was always want based, not need.
Not need.
It's the perfect proof of what we've been talking about. The moment that it wasn't beneficial, there was a release. And once that release happened, we got to go back to want.
Which is a beautiful way of phrasing it. I was going to ask you, you obviously went through a year of solitude.
Yeah. What
did you feel like when I bulldozed my way into your life?
Oh my God, you were just like this ray of sunshine. What do you mean? I was cautious, though. I was really cautious. I was cautious throughout the entirety of our relationship because, I mean, even down to you taking out the trash or like any time you asked if I needed something, my answer to that was no.
No.
Because I was terrified of losing this thing that I had built. We're like, I've got it. And I think that there's a difference between an unhealthy hyper-independence and because of fear, because you're scared, and the superpower. So there was a lot of learning how to navigate maintaining that independence and coexisting and co-creating a life with another human being.
Because I definitely felt the hyper-independence.
Yeah, I didn't know how to maintain both. Add in the most selfish period of my life that I've ever had, which is
the last
middle of law. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like the big chunk of law school and working for the first time in a law firm and like all of these things that I had to be so confident to go do. And a lot of my confidence comes from my independence. There was a lot to navigate. Yeah, 100%. But I do think that our story is a perfect example of like, I'd say it's the most pure form of love. I think that's why we're able to be friends.
I think so
now.
too. Yeah. People ask, how were you friends with your ex?
Which, by the way, we are.
We are.
I dated her.
I just realized I never said that we are exes.
No.
But I think we realized fairly early on that she and I didn't view relationships in the same way.
No.
We didn't operate in relationships in the same way. We didn't want the same things. We didn't want to live in the same place. It's actually really funny when you start listing everything out.
I'll be saying something. She's like, couldn't be me. I'm like,
she said, what wants to live in a van for a year? That sounds like hell on earth, if you ask me.
Like a bit more nomadic, transient. That's one of, I mean, like the list is so deep.
Very long.
I say all the time we got it wrong.
Like, yes and no.
No,
agree
for the
with
time that we like that was right.
Yeah.
But there was an instant like I know you. I didn't know how I knew you, but there was so much comfort that I think the underbelly of that was you're going to know each other for a long time.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
We knew that we weren't compatible long term.
Correct.
But we loved each other so much.
So much.
And one thing I love about our relationship is that no stone was left unturned.
No, we tried everything.
We tried everything.
We tried everything.
We fought for it. And eventually we got to the point where we couldn't last any longer, at least in that capacity.
No. I knew then that if we were to ever have a chance of friendship, not only do we need to like part, but like I can't speak to you.
No, it had to be a no contact.
Yeah.
We went no contact for 6 months. It was a long time.
And we didn't even break the contact. That's the crazy part. And I think that's what really throws me about our story. And just, I truly believe you're supposed to be in my life. When do you drive around a city like Los Angeles and look up a day before you leave the country and leave LA? Like I was leaving Los Angeles permanently. And I run into you the day before.
Yeah.
Look up in my car and you're right next to me. So I don't think there's any coincidence. I genuinely believe that you can be in the tiniest town in the world. And if you're not meant to see somebody again, you won't. You can be in the the biggest city in the world. You can be anywhere. And if you're meant to see somebody again, you will.
You will.
I was 100% meant to pull up next to you, and then to hear about all of the amazing things that had happened.
And I have people who don't understand our friendship in my life.
Yeah, for sure. I do too.
Yeah.
You're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's weird?
Yeah.
Like, you talk to her about everything. I'm like, that was our condition. Like, if we're friends, we're friends. And that's what I meant by the most pure form of love. There isn't an ounce of jealousy. Like, I want nothing more than to see you happy and succeed, like eventually fall in love. Like, I can't wait to watch that. Like, I can't wait to watch your life unfold. That's so, so, so genuine and so deep.
I know it is.
That I think, I mean, it makes sense to us for sure.
It makes sense to us, and I've explained this to you, and this goes for anybody in any type of relationship, but the only people who understand that relationship are you and the other person.
Agreed.
That's it. You're the only people that went through the relationship that you went through, be it platonic or romantic.
Yeah.
You are the only two people who understand what truly happened between the two of you. So anybody could throw in their input. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's harmful. But that person, an outside entity, cannot possibly understand the dynamic. So yeah, there are some people who think it's weird. But everything you just said, I feel the same way about you.
I think you can be friends with an ex, and I'm friends with a few, if there was no like significant harm caused, like betrayal or lying or, you know, things you find out after the fact, like any type of betrayal. If that doesn't happen, if friendship is the core of your relationship from the beginning, and there's no, both people are so, and this is where like it's down to the individual and truly what you think you can do or how you feel. If that desire to be with that person is truly, truly, truly dead, then you can. I think if it's still there, then you're just kind of like, you're walking a really, really rough line. I think it takes a few things and time.
Time. You need
apart.
time.
Time apart.
Because we're humans. We could understand logically that we're not compatible.
Yeah.
But if you don't take that time, it really does heal all wounds. I know it's so cliche.
But it does.
But if you don't take that time, there's no way you can jump back into any type of relationship with that person.
It gives you clarity.
It does give you clarity. And it allows space for the feelings to dissipate.
Yeah.
Because we're humans. We have feelings.
Yeah. 100%. Now I can hear about you dating and, oh my God, I love the dating stories. Oh my God.
Some of them are
like it's great. I loved being able to call you while I was abroad and fill you in on what was going on. And yeah, I don't have a filter with you. None, zero, nada. You know everything in my life. God, I'm so grateful for that. Like, I'm grateful that I still have you to call and ask how your day is going and hear about your family, who I care about so much. Yeah, you feel now like family to me.
Yeah, I feel the same way about you. Do you have a healthy relationship with your shadow self?
Yes, I invite her to dinner every night. Yes, 100%.
Tell the audience about the troll that lives in your stomach.
Girl. Okay, so in hypnotherapy, there are a few crazy things that have kind of happened in my subconscious. For a long time back in Nashville, and this is what I killed when I got to LA, there was this voice. Anytime someone paid me a compliment, anytime somebody said something good or I did an affirmation in the mirror, there's this little voice on the right side of my head. This is going to sound absolutely insane. That said liar. Like, that's not true. Like, somebody says you're beautiful or you're talented. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, it wouldn't. And it was right here. So I go to my hypnotherapist with this and he's like, let me talk to it. I'm like, what? Like, okay. So come to find out, it came out and it was this tiny little troll. And it literally looks like a little troll doll. I bought one and it's next to my bed to remind me of her. Anyway, so it came out and it starts like getting all feisty and saying things like, she doesn't pay attention to me. Like, I just want her attention. Like, that's what this thing was trying to do, was get my attention. So we go into this like hypnosis session, and the troll, leads from the back of my neck, the right side of the back of my neck, all the way down into my gut. And once we got in there, it was like a house, like a beautiful little like living room, like the control room, okay, of some Magic School Bus shit, okay?
What is the Disney movie Inside Out?
No, yes.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's what it
Inside
is.
Out, or like Magic School. Isn't that what it's called? Magic School Bus? Where
Yes,
they go
yeah.
into the, okay.
Yeah.
Magic School Bus, this troll into my stomach. And come to find out, it's like a 2-year-old. And it's me as a baby, and she's throwing a tantrum. And she's like, she doesn't listen to me. And I'm trying to get her attention, and she just won't pay attention. Come to find out, after probably 30 minutes of this session, she's my gut. She's my gut instinct. And she's not necessarily the child, but she's the gut instinct. And when I ignore her, this voice comes up. When I'm ignoring my gut instinct, I'm told, you're a piece of shit. And now that I recognize that, it's like my stop, drop, meditate. Like if I hear that voice, it's like sit down. Like you're ignoring something in here. So I don't know if she's the shadow, but I mean, the shadows, just as the higher version, like I sit with them and invite them to dinner. Like, let's talk. Because if I try and board that house up and not let them in, they're going to come in through the vent. Like they're going to come in some way I don't understand. It's so much easier to just open the door and say, what's up? Like what do you need from me? And living that way has given me so much peace.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to invite them in.
I asked that question, and I realized that some people might not know what the shadow self is.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion of the shadow self is the side of yourself that is a little bit toxic.
Yeah.
It's the side of yourself that might be a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
Hence
Makes the
term,
bad decisions.
Makes the bad decisions. Impulsive.
Yeah. All of your like character flaws, we've got them.
Darkness.
Yeah.
It's the dark side of yourself.
Or just lower, the one that operates from a place of lack and a place of I'm not good enough. And, you know, we're not born that way.
No, I'm a very light person,
Mm-hmm.
at least I think.
Yeah.
And because of that, I have ignored my shadow self, even though I know it exists. There's something that I'm going through right now where I have to come face to face with my shadow self. It's coming in the form of attraction to somebody that I really shouldn't be attracted to. Sometimes you can't control that. But when you know a person isn't great or aligned with your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and the attraction still doesn't die, okay, what is this lesson that is being taught to me right now? And I think it's coming face to face with the part of yourself that is attracted to that person and shaking hands with that person. That's the shadow self.
And the fact that you're aware of it is wildly cool.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Because the healthy side of myself knows that this person isn't aligned with my path and is probably not good for me.
Yeah.
But the shadow self is still very attracted. That's what I'm facing right now. And usually, it's interesting because usually when that shows up, when the toxicity shows up, the attraction dies. For some reason, it's not dying. And that's the part of myself that I need to
It's like, why are you
face.
craving this?
Why are you craving this? What's happening in your subconscious that's making you crave this?
Yeah.
And this could come in, this is just one example, but this could come into play in anything that you're dealing with in your life. There's the toxic side of yourself that craves something, or not even necessarily craves this. Like I said, this could apply to anything. But when you go, why am I, why is this getting brought into my life?
Yeah.
The more you connect with that shadow self, the easier it is to navigate those difficult situations.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's another superpower.
It's another superpower.
Yeah. Sitting with the shadow is so important. She knows so much. So like, why would I? And it's half of me.
It's half of you.
It's like fully half.
So why would you ignore?
Why would
the
I
half of
ignore
you?
that? That's a huge part of myself because it's scary.
And the more you ignore it, the more it's in control.
Yeah. Like that's what's scary.
Yeah.
The fact that it exists is not scary. We all have one. It is normal. We are human beings. We are conditioned over the course of our lives to develop it. That's normal. and not scary. What's scary is when I'm walking and then I like turn around and I'm like, what happened? Like, why would I make those decisions? Like, it comes out backwards. Like I said, comes in through the vents. It's so much easier to just open the door.
You have an intellect, a mindset, and a talent in writing that could make you seem like an alien to others. And it's one that definitely rubbed off on me. What just came to your mind as I mentioned that statement?
It's just my direct tether to something bigger than me. And I think what's alien about that is I don't know if we live in a society that's super conducive to that slowing down and connecting to something bigger, whatever you want to call it.
The universe, God,
whatever. Yeah.
Creator,
source. It's the source of everything. I don't think we live in a world that is conducive to that at all, slowing down enough to connect to it. So the fact that that's how I live my life is in constant connection, that might be the thing that's alien. But I also think it depends on where you are and the circles you're in, and your location plays a huge part in whether or not I feel alien. I don't now. I don't at all, actually. There's some people that aren't going to necessarily understand what I'm saying, but I've been blessed with so many people that I can have those types of conversations with that it doesn't feel weird. But that's my quick answer to where that alien feeling comes from, is, especially with writing, is the slowing down and being consistently connected to my version of God and nurturing that relationship daily. And that's just how I do it. I do it through writing. But I think being slow. We're not a slow society. LA's not slow. LA's quick.
Yeah. I was going to say the United States, or maybe the Western world.
Yeah.
You could argue.
Yeah, I would agree, because going east, the way that I think is normal. The slow pace of life, where community and down to the way that you eat, like everything is so much slower that you can't help but, and the society thrives off of a relationship with something bigger for the most part. Yeah, I'd say Western world.
Yeah. I think I knew how you were going to answer that question. And I knew that you were going to bring up the fact that location matters. Because I wholeheartedly believe that location matters. There are some instances where I'm plopped into a room and I feel like a black sheep.
Yes.
And then there are other instances where I feel so at home.
Yes.
When I go to work, for example, I'm in that back room. We all share the same passion. We're all on the same wavelength. I never feel like...
Weird.
What's the phrase I'm looking for? Not a black sheep, but a fish out of water.
Yeah.
I never feel like a fish out of water at work. But sometimes I feel that way at a queer event.
Sure.
I don't feel like I belong. Not anymore. Not in the way I used to.
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast.
the people, 100%.
People matter.
While LA's quick, the people that I found here move slow.
I've always admired the relationship that you have with God. Because mine is complicated.
Yours took something from you.
Mine took something from me. And because of that, I've never questioned the existence, whether I've called it God, the universe, creator. I have always known that there's something bigger than myself.
Yeah.
I understand that there's something bigger than myself in existence. But my relationship with it is complicated because it took something from me.
Yeah.
And I know there was good that came out of that. But there's a part of me that's still, why would you do that to me?
Right. 100%.
So it's complicated.
Yeah.
I know it's there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, 100%.
But I've always admired that about you.
Thank you. That's like the greatest compliment I could receive. That's what I work on it every day. Yeah. That tether. It's what tells me what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Because when I'm in my driver's seat, things get complicated real quick.
And spirituality is such a beautiful guide. And I think it's something that everybody could use.
Yeah. And I treat mine like a religion. Like, it's not like a blanket statement. It's not cute. It's really not cute. It means sitting in it and sitting in meditation when I don't want to. And it means praying, and it means writing, and it means constantly connecting and living by the rules I believe that it's set for my life. Thank you for that, because it is a big part of my world.
Tell the people where to find you.
Where to find me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Instagram, I am Koli, Koli.
Instagram is where to find you, and go on to Spotify.
Spotify, oh yeah. Koli.
Listen to her music.
Koli, all caps.
The writing is unbelievable. So go listen to her music.
Got a lot of music coming out. I'm working on getting a book published. Yeah, there are a lot of amazing things in the works.
T, clock it.
Ridiculous. Yeah, that's where to find me.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Oh my God, we got to yap.
I know we got to yap
For over an hour.
I know.